So welcome back to our introduction to sustainable development background and core ideas. In this presentation, actually, in the first part, we have talked about political development, the etymology of sustainability, where the wording comes from, and also which international meetings, conventions took place that discussed sustainable development with different outcomes. Recent one in Rio+20 in June 2012. Now in the second part, actually, we go into more the models of sustainability, models of sustainable development, how we can work with it, and how we can see sustainable development in a very interacted and interdisciplinary way. Also interrupted or enlightened with a short game that we can play together. So we are here in part 2 and start actually with a triple bottom line. A quite renowned model also of sustainable development. In the first part we have learned about the Brundtland definition, where we meet our own needs without compromising the need of future generations. This first definition of Brundtland again reflected the needs of ourselves, what we need in the present, so an intergenerational aspect, and also was looking into future generations. So we shouldn't compromise the needs and needs of future generations. In this definition already also, there is a development aspect in it, because we need to think how our actions actually further develop and progress for the future. So sustainability is not only sustainability at a single point of time, but we need to think about sustainable development in a time perspective. This is also visualized in this model here that we are drawing down here. It shows the 3 different pillars on an equal level. You please see this on a 2-dimensional level, not on a 3-dimensional level with something on the top, but see it as a flat triangle where each of those pillars or corners of this triangle has the same role to play. And the arrow actually shows also the development aspect. So where sustainability is a development where it comes from a present or even past stage to the future, and we need to reflect these aspects in all of the 3 dimensions. That's the triple bottom line model. The International Institute of Advanced System Analysis in Vienna then also presented this ESD model. This model is coming from the center, the population, the human being, thinking about the development also in an economic sense, and everything is being based on the environment. And we are living from the environment, from the resources that the environment actually gives us. So they are seeing this in this circuit model, where you can find different interactions taking place on different levels and different frameworks, which you can see here in this model. So energy aspects, air, water and land are aspects that are strongly connected with the environment, but also have an impact by the development of economic development and also population and people. The same consumption, production lines are affected by the environment, but also by the people that steer them. And people, population, age, gender, education and so on are also affected by the people where people or by aspects where people grow up, in which environments they grow up, and in which development aspects or economic development aspects they grow up. So every of those aspects are interlinked with each other. We can play this actually in a short workshop or game. It is called the See the Links. See the Links means social, economic and environmental aspects, and it's actually a game with dices. Within a group you need 3 dices, and each of the dices reflects a different discipline. The aim is actually a game to explore the linkages between society, environment and the economy. So that's the abbreviation of SEE, C. Yeah? The procedure is that participants sit together in groups of 3 people. All groups receive a set of 3 dices in different colors. Every color is assigned to society, environment and economy. Every number on the dice is assigned actually to a term. For example, the dice in red is the dice of society, and 1 means equity in society. The participants roll the dice around and receive 3 terms, therefore, of each: society, economy, and environment. The participants are given a few minutes to compose a story around these terms and hence link society, environment, and economy. They go on and roll the dice again and they create another stories. So it's also a matter of storytelling actually, which we come to in another presentation. So here are the terms that are connected to the different dices. So you have a yellow, a green, and a blue dice. You can draw a little point on the dice to recognize if you have only white dices, or you can really have different colored dices. In society, for example, you have 3 different terms connected to the points of the dices: equity, health, education, poverty, culture, politics. In environment, you have water, land use, soil, agriculture, air pollution, waste, and biodiversity. And in economy, it's industry, local economy, livelihood, jobs, GDP, gross domestic production, and corruption. So all terms that are concerned to their different disciplines. Then as a result, actually, for example, we can dice here and say, okay, in society, we diced education; in environment, we diced waste; and in economy, we diced jobs. And then we can think, okay, how are these 3 different terms connected to each other? How can education actually contribute to waste reduction and at the same time create jobs, right? Or how does waste production has an influence on jobs and on education and so on? So think about these terms in different kinds, and here you learn how to interlink those different disciplines also. It's a very fast, easygoing, and quite funny games because funny stories can also emerge. You can take a short break and play it as now. The feedback actually, or maybe you had lots of fun with this game or different stories came out. The feedback from our testing here in this EduCamp training was the difficulties in the beginning were really to connect all the 3 terms at the same time. So people often start with the linkage between 2 terms each, but need actually to connect all the 3 of them. So one solution we came up with was maybe also to mind map the interlinkages. So take a piece of paper and draw the interlinkages between the different terms. It is very good to explore therefore the interlinkages and also recognize how interconnected sustainability really works. And don't forget about to think how the development aspect and the time aspect is also included. So this was just a short excursion to this methodology of these dices. We come back on working on sustainable development. Here we need actually what we have just learned. Interconnect different disciplines in our working. Sustainable development really needs a holistic thinking. So holistic thinking means to think about the whole, to think about what impacts all the different actions you have had. It's about complexity and uncertainty. It's about the present and the future. It's about the perspectives where I look at, and it's about levels of values. When you go into more depth of those perspectives, might be global and local ones. You might look into when you just reflect what has happened in Rio +20, when instead of a multilateral perspective, states tend to have a very unilateral national perspective. The final outcome is not that global that we expected for. So what we need to think really is about the global perspective and think about how the buying of a new pair of jeans actually has an impact not only on the local store here, which is maybe happy because somebody sold a pair of jeans, but also how the production of the jeans look like, right? how is the production line, where does the material come from, in what conditions people are working in some other countries. So we might tend to find opportunities to buy fair trade jeans or organic cotton jeans. So we need to think instead of only local, really in a global perspective. Is it economic, social or environmental perspectives we tend to look at? Sustainable development surely needs to see the holistic and the overall global view. And is it interdisciplinary perspectives therefore, and therefore holistic approaches? In this picture on the slide, it shows a guy photographing his family. But do we only look on the beautiful picture, or do we also look on the overall scale where we are living in? Then we have another aspect of working with sustainable development, and this is about complexity and also uncertainty. As introduced already, with these three different disciplines, we are facing a quite complex situation. And it's also uncertain because we don't know about the future. We can estimate, we can build trends and so on, but we cannot and never really know how the future will really look like. So sustainability has lots to do with uncertainty. Working with this complexity and uncertainty requires really interdisciplinary thinking and also creativity. How do we get creativity and also interdisciplinary thinking? Education. So creative education and also research leads towards innovation, and we need innovation in facing sustainability challenges. Innovation has new ideas and new opportunities for solutions. And innovation is a basic requirement, therefore, for sustainable development. So that's how we can face the complexity and uncertainty. That's why we need education for sustainable development, which supports interdisciplinary, interactive, and creativity supporting education and learning. In research, we also have 4 basic principles of transdisciplinary processes. So how to come also in research to innovation. Transdisciplinary processes actually in research are a collaboration between science and society. So how we can work as researchers, very often actually working on single disciplines, still we need to work together with society to find out the challenges that we face in sustainability. Transdisciplinary research is also social problem driven. So it is not steered by the ideas of the researchers, but it is steered by the interests and challenges that the society faces. And therefore it is also at the same time quite interdisciplinary. And it is more about mutual learning and education effects. So it is not only the researcher that is learning, but it is also the people in society that learn about what is the outcome, what are the effects from our research, and that's of how innovation can emerge from research by working between researchers and society that have also expert knowledge from their application point of view. And already rethinking about the Brundtland definition, when working with sustainable development, also rethinking about uncertainties, we think about the present and the future. We have already talked about this. In working with sustainable development, it is always about thinking about the present and future aspects and development. And again, here in the slide, we have the definition of Krohal and Brundtland from this World report. Finally, it is about different values. We find different values also in sustainable development, and when we talk to people, we need to respect different values of people, and therefore also find the different languages, so to say, when we work with various people coming from different disciplines, seeing those from different perspectives, but also from different values point of view. The values might come from a public, private, or also civil society point of view, economic, environment, or human point of view, but also children might have different values than adults or elderly people. So when working together with youth as adults, we need to kind of try to step into their role see the world from their perspectives and also from their values point of view. LOHAS is just a short abbreviation of lifestyle, of health and sustainability. So it is also a new market niche actually of people that come into this category of people that live this lifestyle of health and sustainability. Again, people with a special type of values and perspectives. So in the end of this presentation actually, we are thinking about what is your personal definition of sustainable development. We have heard now about different kinds of sustainable development, and we've heard about this different kind of definitions about sustainable development, but still we have also heard about that we need to think about our own values, about values of the future. So what are your values and how do you understand actually sustainable development from your own point of view? So this is another workshop that you can do in small groups of 2 to 3 people, or you can just rethink from your own perspective. Thank you very much for your attention on this. This was the second part of this presentation on the introduction of sustainable development, and I hope you have learned a little bit more about this development of sustainability, what lies behind. We might remember that it is very much to see the holistic point of view, the whole picture that lies behind our actions and activities, and so therefore we might not only focus on single disciplines, but really bring them together of environment, society and economy, and also think about the present and future of our actions. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to see you again in another presentation. Bye-bye.